What is going on, guys? We are back for another DSP video. My god, he continues to show how much of a disgusting human slash alien he really is. And not only that, an even worse husband. As I pointed out in the last video, his wife has rage quit streaming. She's never gonna go back on, at least this year. So we have Dick Stroke and Phil vlogs. Khet is so sick, she's not gonna make an elaborate dinner. DoorDash is right there, Phil, but you are forcing your sick wife to cook for you. And that's what I'm talking about, like disgusting actions. If your wife is sick, you take care of the food, you take care of the cooking, DoorDash, whatever, but let her rest. Let her get better if she really is sick. But of course, that's his wife. And this isn't the first time he's done something like this. His ex-fiance, girlfriend, whatever you want to call her, she was sick in bed, and he was, ironically, playing a Star Wars game as well. And he said on the video, just give me a moment, Leanna's sick, I have to wake her up, she has to make me dinner. There's no defending that. That is absolutely vile as a husband. Then we have poems. Sounds like anxiety caused by stress. I wonder what gives someone that. I wonder why it seems to be happening the day before she's supposed to be on streams.
It's not that Kat is like sick or anything. It's just that she had a stomach problem last night and she didn't get good rest because of it. Already I knew last night, all of a sudden she was like, you look sick. And I was like, what's wrong? She's like, yeah, my stomach sucks. And I was like, figures it has to be the night before that once again, we were going to do our co-op. And now what's going to end up happening is you're not going to feel good. And it's going to be a day where there's going to be stress and everything. And again, the point of doing co-op is supposed to be that it's supposed to be fun. And you know, not that you're sitting here in uncomfort or stress or being tired or worked out or you know what I mean? It has to be, we're going to sit here and have fun together. And if she doesn't feel good, regardless of how the stream is going, we're still not going to have fun together. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's going to feel uncomfortable, and that's not cool. So, you know, what can I say?
I love that he says, it's not that she's sick, but she was sick so she couldn't sleep. Then I said she looked sick. I love how he's now contradicted himself seconds after he says something. I'm gonna hit you with some reality here, Phil. She doesn't want to be around you. If you notice, she doesn't even go out grocery shopping with you anymore. The errands, whatever you want to call them. She sits back, plays her games, lives in her own fantasy world, so she doesn't have to deal with you. The last thing she wants is to be stuck in that room, covered in dust and cum, and be alone with you, Phil. And we have Rent and Liar. Of course Kat has a stomach ache. Laugh my fucking ass off. This man embarrasses his fat wife every time he mentions her. Yeah, remember, everything breaks because of his wife, dude. And we got, hello fellow teenagers, which one of her 4 stomachs? Then we have Darcy the Flow with some wise words. Phil, you don't have to schedule a play date with your wife. How hard is it to get your wife to show up for a co-op playthrough when you both live in the same physical space? And she only works part-time, and you yourself are home 100% of the time. Weird alien relationship. Then we got Dick Stroke and Phil vlogs. Catherine, fake stomach pain again. Next co-op stream, if you are being held captive, we will take that as a signal to engage the Snort Fort rescue mission. Anyone got a crane? And this is from That Being Said. Why in the hell would he approve this comment? Stocking materials for a pity party later? And this is a comment left on one of his videos that apparently DSP approved. Maybe remove it from your schedule, the co-op playthrough, and leave it as a surprise when you actually do it, so it doesn't feel like you're stringing people along for no reason. Even if your excuses are real, which they're not by the way, she doesn't want to be around you, lol. And then we have Darcy quoting the video we just watched. Notice how Phil only describes Kat's illness only so that it affects him. He doesn't view her illness as something to be concerned about. He's only concerned about how her illness affects his scheduled co-op playthrough. And then we got this one from King Bean the Goat. Shit, the way Phil is going, he'll have 2 breakups before the end of the year. 1 minute may be more combative in his tips, and Kat may be out the door as well. And then Vidya guy here did a little bit of math for us. So we've always wondered how much of DSP's income is actually from 1 Minute Man. We know the dollar amount is like 7,000 or 8,000 or something like that, but what about the percentage? So he says, I did the math, and I think it came out to 1 Minute Man being like 24 to 27% of his annual income. If he lost him, he'd be up shit creek. And that's a very important thing because, as of late, 1 Minute Man has been shit on by Phil over and over, and 1 Minute Man keeps pushing back. And today, he only did $10 in tips instead of his $20 to $25. Interesting how this is going. I'm just saying, season 16, amazing so far. We thought we couldn't top 15, and it's just blowing us away. Then we have a quote here of Phil from Poems. DSP thinks it's wrong to ignore what people feel, and you should listen to everything someone has to say and not cast judgment on them. That's right, Darkside Phil says that. Keep in mind, this is also the same man who will ban you if you ask him if he's playing a game on easy. He will ban you if you disagree with what he says. He will call you a troll and a detractor if you don't believe what he believes. We got Will. He's the guy that just waits for his turn to talk though. He doesn't listen to anyone. And Poems, remember when you blamed your trolls for getting bounties taken from you? Why was it okay then?
I believe that raffles are considered gambling. And the only way that a raffle is allowed is if it's completely free. So if it's a free giveaway, that's fine. If it's a silly thing that does not involve money, but anything that involves money or monetary things that has to do with a chance, that's gambling. And therefore, that's something I don't want to touch with a 1,000-foot pole. I don't want to have YouTube attack coming at me and saying, hey, we heard you did a gambling stream and, you know, that violates terms of service and yada, yada, yada. So no, I would not be doing anything like that.
Number 2, back last year in February when he did the bounties, when he yelled and screamed at people because they weren't paying up their bounties and they should live up to the word, all of a sudden he stopped doing bounties and said that his troll tried to get him in trouble with YouTube. Quite the interesting phrasing of words there, Phil. And of course, support was low on the pre-stream, which is usually the biggest moneymaker for him. And we have this from Duty. Okay, scumbag.
It is time to get to the shout-out segment of the podcast. Now, first off, we have absolutely no contributions on the YouTube side. No super chats, no memberships, and no gifted memberships. That's just a statement of fact, not a complaint. I'm now going to do shout-outs.
And we have this. You realize your top supporter has and continues to do the same thing, right? I know you do. I've seen the messages between the two of you.
No exaggeration. Who catfished for a year and a half. There's 2 different people who did this. They pretended to be someone they were not. A different gender, a different race, completely different name. Acted like they lived somewhere they did not. Made up a whole backstory about their life and their job. And then befriended a bunch of people on my streams. And then a couple of them became moderators, just chat moderators of mine, to try to help out. And then come to find out, a year and a half later, you know, this was a faker. This was an asshole. This is someone who was just faking everyone to try to basically get inside information on people, whether it was me or my other moderators or actual viewers and fans.
Of course, he's talking about other people, but 3 letters just come to my mind when he describes those people. I wonder what Lisa Lou, Brianna, Sarah, and others would think about that. And then he was upset with his audience. And why was he upset? Apparently, DSP is upset. His audience doesn't know why his streams got choppy the other day. That is right. He's mad at his audience for not knowing why his streams are choppy. It's almost like, you know, Phil, you're the owner of this business. You're the one running the streams. This is your work. Maybe you should know that. Maybe you should look into it, you know, do your own stuff, not have your audience figure it all out for you, and then get mad at them because they don't know the answer. What a scumbag. It's very upsetting when I ask and I don't have a consensus. And then he also said, he adds he can't remember the last time he rebooted his PC, so he did that and he's hoping that fixes it. And ladies and gentlemen, we're starting to get to the bottom of the barrel. You know his career. You know everything's going to the shit when he's throwing things at the wall, trying to see what sticks. Playing Pal World, playing Helldivers after saying he wouldn't play it. And giving in to all these meme games, Harold Halibut and whatnot. And I thought the bottom of the barrel was when he monetized cleaning out his closet. The people have given money on the streams. It was also a members goal, so people had to pre-give him money and then on the stream give him more money. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he now wants to monetize setting up FightCade as an entire stream, while people handhold him and give him money for it. We got David Davidson. Phil wants to set up FightCade now, and is going to have people handhold him in the setup. A viewer asks why he isn't doing it off stream, and Phil threatens to ban them if they say that again. Very chill and positive. And we got this here. DSP has had this downloaded on his mini PC since last year, and will keep from doing anything by himself. Also, he can monetize the entire stream. And then we got some really good quotes and thoughts from Phil during the Star Wars Battlefront stream. DSP didn't know you can restock ammo in Star Wars Battlefront. DSP brings up woke shit, talks about it for at least an hour in total, a dedicated segment, 2 days in a row, even titles one of his videos with the word woke. Suddenly, he's offended when people want to have a discussion over it and scolds them for bringing up politics. And then DSP also said he wants to do a political show after the election because people won't be agitated anymore and at each other's throat. I'm just going to tell you this now, Phil. As crazy as the world is, doesn't matter who wins the election in November, the world is still going to be crazy. And it doesn't matter who wins, Phil. There's going to be one side that's going to be absolutely going crazy, no matter who wins. And then DSP gave his thoughts on electric cars. That is right, Big Brain Brunel is in the house. And he says, electric cars shouldn't be pushed because the electric grid can't handle them. And ladies and gentlemen, we come full circle. DSP is now defending Chris Chan. Now keep in mind, in the past, he said, I don't know anything about Chris Chan, and then goes on to say, didn't he do stuff to his mother? And tonight, he said, I don't know anything about Chris Chan, and then went on to say how he's a meme, and he's being harassed because he's handicapped. Phil's words, not mine. But of course, they got that connection, you know, with the Mo wife and that polo shirt.
I do not have any thoughts on this Chris Chan guy. I don't know much about him. Besides that, I guess, you know, he's just infamous on the internet. He's another one of these negative internet memes. But I don't know anything about, you know, the story or whatever. You just hear awful things from time to time. But isn't it true that he's like, I mean, I'm just saying, isn't it true he's like mentally handicapped or something? I think it's messed up that people like treat this story like it's some kind of a joke. It's like, if the guy's like actually mentally handicapped, is that really funny? To make him a meme or whatever? I think that's fucked up, right?
Then someone sent a tip to Phil saying that people are talking about his tax returns and his payment plans and all that. And he kept going, oh, it's all bullshit. I filed my taxes, I paid my taxes, blah, blah, blah. And then the conversation turned to Kiwi Farms. And he said, and I quote, stuff on Kiwi Farms is mostly bullshit, according to DSP. So he said mostly, which means there are some truth on Kiwi Farms. And then someone asked Phil for advice for someone who's starting out in the real world. And that is absolutely pathetic if someone's asking Darkside Phil about how to survive in the real world. He has not been in the real world at least 16 years. Some say he's never been in it. He doesn't know what it's like. And DSP says he has no advice to give young men starting out in the adult world of today. You want some advice? Whatever you see Darkside Phil doing, do the opposite. That'll get you pretty far in life. Then I love how he sneaks in these little comments like he thinks no one's gonna notice. So he said tonight that he has drinks with his wife off camera, and he also has drinks when he uploads videos. And then the talk turned into superheroes. First he talked about DC, and someone asked him who his favorite villain is. And like every single answer DSP gives now, it's depends on this and that. And he wouldn't even give an answer. He called Solomon Grundy Frankenstein. And then it moved to Marvel, where he started talking about, and I quote, how Kingpin has superpowers. That is right. DSP was describing how Kingpin in Marvel has superpowers. Let that sink in. Just let that sink in. Then we have this from Poem's Future. Are we having fun yet?
Remember when Sidious took his dirty, muddy boot and he wiped it off on Yoda, just cleaned his boots right on his back? That was just really, really insult to injury kind of stuff. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Remember when he pulled a piece of old chewed gum out of his mouth and he just stuck it on Yoda's forehead like that? That was really messed up, man. It just really showed the dark side, you know, tactics. You remember when Darth Sidious gave Yoda a wet willy and those big hairy green ears? He's like,
Oh, funny this is not. Annoying that is. Stop it, you must.
remember when Darth Sidious gave Yoda the most rowdy nipple twister he ever had? He just grabbed them both and said, and Yoda said,
Oh, painful that is. Release them, you must.
Yes, remember when Darth Sidious said he was giving Yoda, he said it was candy, and it looked like candy, he ate it, but it was actually X-Lax, and then he went in front of the Jedi Council, and he had to take a raucous liquid shit inside of a trash can right in front of the whole council?
Oh, control my balls, I cannot. Release them, I must. Empty them, I must. Oh.
Then all day, DSP complained about the heat, and Rent and Liar points this out. Still has an upgraded air conditioner, but can drop 1600 on WWE Champions Weekly. Sweat harder, pig. Then we got some memes here. We got LTG, black DSP. We got DSP, white LTG. Then I put this out. I think I know where DSP gets his sandwich shop analogies from. We see Dave Meltzer from Wrestling, who's a quote-unquote wrestling journalist, defending AEW and making food shop analogies. Then we have In an Otter Place, my season 16 highlights so far, the spoon incident, the shart, cat returns, cat walks out midstream, cat vanishes, the sound of desperation and just throwing anything at the wall to see what sticks, having them play BG3 for money despite clearly hating it, and it's still April. So if you guys like that, click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe to my other channels on the details of the end cards. And as always, I love each and every one of you. Hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Peace and love.